When's the ship date for Grand Theft Auto? That's the first question. So when is it?
So we leave the announcements about upcoming titles to our labels. And we have said we have a very robust pipeline of titles, and we have a great outlook for fiscal 25, where we've reiterated our belief that we'll generate about $8 billion in net bookings and over $1 billion in adjusted operating cash flow. So pretty exciting time, but we haven't spoken about the specific release schedule. And we have titles coming from all of our labels, including great releases, we hope, coming from Zynga.
We are going to look back at 2023 and realize how big of a year it was for video games. The competition for Game of the Year, it's extremely tight. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 looks like the top contender right now, although that could change with Starfield, Spider-Man 2. On top of all that, there's some huge games coming out by the end of the year. Alongside those, Mortal Kombat 1, the long-awaited Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, Alan Wake 2, Forza. The list goes on. 2023 may end up being one of the best years in gaming we've had in a long time. But you and I both know it's all about GTA 6. It will steal the spotlight and refuse to give it back if it is announced this year. And the demand for GTA 6 news has been ridiculous, to the point that people were jumping up on stage during Gamescom and yelling it into Jeff Keighley's microphone. Seriously, he needs better security.
Don't be jealous. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Really disappointed. They're disappointed.
But with GTA 5 officially crossing 185 million copies sold and Rockstar remaining dead quiet about the sequel, fans are getting antsy and they need a teaser, a trailer, a logo, something. Well, lucky for you guys, I have something. I actually happened to catch an interview with the CEO of Take-Two Interactive recently, and he seems to have accidentally slipped up and spilled the beans and confirmed a very popular fan theory as to when the next GTA game is coming out. And unlike other GTA videos on this channel, I can confidently say this one is not speculation. In this video today, we're going to go over everything the head of Take-Two Interactive himself recently said and what it means for GTA 6, because I think he actually slipped up and said more than he meant to. You guys let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments. Drop a like and let's jump into it. The big news comes from CNBC, which isn't exactly a place I would expect something like this to come from during a live TV interview, but okay, we take it where we can get it. The CEO of Take-Two Interactive, Strauss Zelnick, the show's host, directly asked him, when is the ship date for GTA 6? Claiming that as the big question from the investors, which is pretty accurate if you ask me. I mean, if I were an investor in Take-Two Interactive, I would also be curious at this point when the biggest game of all time was going to come out, since that's obviously the big thing my money has been going towards up until this point. In response, Zelnick stated, "We leave the announcements about upcoming titles to our labels, and we have said that we have a very robust lineup of titles, and we have a great outlook for fiscal 25, where we've reiterated our belief is that we will generate $8 billion in net bookings and over $1 billion in adjusted operating cash flow." So pretty exciting time, but we haven't spoken about the specific release schedule, and we have releases coming out from all our labels. Before we move on, guys, speaking of releases, how about launches? We are launching the ChasingTheHobby.com website in a few weeks. If you're into mystery packs or repacks from sports cards to non-sports cards to Pokemon to comic books to slabs to Funkos, we're going to have everything over there. So go join the email drop list. It is a newsletter that you can sign up for free and you will get first access when we actually launch the site. And then there, moving forward, you will get a first drop on any new product that is dropping, because most of these products are limited series. So when they're gone, they're gone. Go sign up and I'll see you over there. Link is at the top of the description. Now, did you guys catch what happened in that interview? The CEO of Take-Two Interactive was asked, when does GTA 6 come out? And he responded about talking about the fiscal year 2025. I don't know about you guys. That sounds like a release window. Previously, Take-Two has stated they're expecting big profits from fiscal year 2025, which is a time span going from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th of 2025. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's how the business people set up their fiscal years. But they never directly addressed the possibility of GTA 6 being the big moneymaker. And I guess in all fairness, it's totally possible Take-Two has some other big projects in the works for that time period. NBA 2K is a big moneymaker every year. It's been heavily rumored that the next Borderlands and BioShock games are going to be coming out within the next few years, both of which are under Take-Two's umbrella as well. but the publisher has never directly acknowledged GTA 6 in regards to a release date. I think the CEO actually slipped up. Going into this interview, he was probably expecting to be asked about the future of the company, probably even about GTA 6 given how much buzz there is on the internet, but he probably wasn't expecting the host of a network television show to open their interview by just asking him point blank, when is GTA 6 coming out? The fact that he then went into an obviously rehearsed monologue about fiscal year 2025 tells me that he couldn't say nothing, but he also couldn't reveal the game's release date too early. So he tried to shift the conversation to the amount of money fiscal year 2025 is going to make, and he also did his best to redirect the attention to other studios under the Take-Two umbrella, but I think at this point, the damage was done. I honestly think at the very end of his monologue, where he starts mentioning games from all of our labels, he was literally just throwing that in there to try and backtrack and walk back after he realized that he just confirmed the GTA 6 release window before Rockstar did. So, now we have absolute confirmation from the head of Take-Two himself. The GTA 6 will be coming out in fiscal year 2025, which again, for those that don't know, that's October 1st of 2024 to September 30th of 2025. Now I know, fiscal year 2025 is a huge release window for a game, but that does narrow things down. It narrows it down pretty heavily. It adds legitimacy to certain insider reports who have predicted this. The going theory for months now has been that Take-Two Interactive has given Rockstar a final deadline to get GTA 6 out of the door, because naturally, they've been paying the bills up until this point. They haven't seen anything. I'm not saying it's a good thing to rush your developers, but first of all, I don't think Rockstar is actually feeling rushed after they've been working on this thing for over 5 years. But also, if you're Take-Two in this situation, you kind of have to yank the chain at some point. You've been funding development on this game since day one, and there hasn't been an official trailer. I think it's fair for them to come out and establish a final deadline. According to the insider reports, Rockstar is aiming to have this game done by the 2024 holiday season, but Take-Two's final deadline is actually spring of 2025. That lines up perfectly with what the CEO said about the fiscal year. Now, some have suggested that GTA 6 may come out in September of 2025, which would make some sense given the fact that GTA 5 also came out in September. But with how much money is expected to be generated in fiscal year 2025, I think it's going to come out earlier. I do. The Take-Two CEO said they're expecting over $8 billion in net bookings. That's insane. To me, that sounds like the kind of money that would be generated by the launch of GTA 6, as well as some ongoing sales and perhaps some microtransactions from GTA Online 2. For reference, GTA 5 generated $1 billion in 3 days. So while GTA 6 could technically come out at the tail end of fiscal year 2025, I don't think that would give Take-Two enough time to hit the projections that they're bragging about. Personally, I think GTA 6 is coming out much earlier in fiscal year 2025, and as much as I would love to see it come out next holiday season, I think early 2025 is likely. If the game comes out in March or April, that gives it more than enough time to hit some insane sales benchmarks, even if the online mode comes out a few months later like every other Rockstar multiplayer mode has done to date. Remember, the original GTA Online didn't come out until 2 weeks after the base game launched. Red Dead Online took a month to be added to Red Dead 2. So we should expect the new version of Online to come out roughly a month or two after GTA 6, which is even more evidence that the game is coming out earlier in fiscal 2025 in order for Take-Two to hit those projections. And remember, there are obviously more Take-Two games coming out in this fiscal year. I know that. But, I mean, it's not like they're expecting GTA 6 to hit $8 billion in net bookings by itself, but $8 billion is a huge jump from the previous years. And again, GTA 5 generated $1 billion in 3 days without any microtransactions. So Take-Two is certainly expecting massive numbers from this game. Here's my prediction. Early 2025. Probably March or April. I'd love to get my hands on it in late 2024, but from the sound of it, that may be a tad optimistic. Now, in addition to the release date news, Rockstar has been in the headlines recently for major company expansion that I'm sure will have an impact on the future of their franchise, as it was recently discovered that Rockstar is looking for in-person workers in LA, suggesting they're about to announce and open a new branch of the company in Southern California. Rockstar currently has 10 offices around the world, those being Rockstar North, the GTA developers, Rockstar San Diego, the Red Dead developers, Rockstar Toronto, who does PC ports, and then a bunch of other smaller offices that do various support work. Rockstar London, Rockstar New England, Rockstar Lincoln, so on and so forth. But from the sounds of it, there's about to be a new office in Los Angeles, likely called Rockstar LA, likely be focused on motion capture. It's also likely this new office will be connected in some way to the recent acquisition of Standard Deviation, and heavily implies that Rockstar is going to be working on more projects in the future. Now, the fact that the company is expanding to more offices, taking on more manpower, means they have some big things planned, and I don't know about you guys, I'm really hoping this means they're going to start releasing games more regularly. Back in the 2000s and early 2010s, Rockstar was putting out a new game every year or two. Now, no. GTA 6 is going to be the first game Rockstar has put out since 2018's Red Dead 2. That's right, Red Dead 2 is 5 years old. I'm hoping this new studio means that Rockstar is going to be working on multiple IPs again and perhaps giving us the long-awaited Bully 2 or Manhunt 3 or both, or maybe the revival of Midnight Club or something new. I mean, with how much manpower and funding Rockstar Games has, I'm surprised they don't release more games, but hopefully that changes soon because I know I'm not the only one who wants to see Rockstar release more than a single open-world game every 5 to 6 years. I'll keep you guys posted if anything breaks.